It's your boy Evie. You're watching EvStudiosEnt. And if you like what you see, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button so you could become part of Evie's family. Now, I have definitely slowed down on the videos for the past couple of days. That's only temporary, y'all. It has been a crazy past couple of days, so I wasn't really able to knock out videos, but we are back on it. Tomorrow is going to be a entire day of knocking out reactions. I'm going to go live tomorrow. I'm going to be doing reactions. I'm going to be in front of this thing all day long. So I'm ready to jump on into this next one, which this is Easy Mill is getting interviewed by, I thought that was Paul originally when I first saw him, but clearly I can tell it's not him now, but I thought it was Paul. You guys informed me that it wasn't. Thank you for that. So I want to hop right on into it, y'all. And I know you guys want to see this too. So let's get it. This is Easy Mill is getting interviewed from, I do not know his name. I apologize. Someone please let me know down below. And it looks like they're talking about coming up in the Philippines and more. That's all it says. So let's get it. Let's go.
Have you gotten bored of telling the Easy Mill story yet?
I mean, I don't necessarily think so. It's more so just like today, like, you know, it's at the end of the day. It's the nighttime.
Right. Well, you got to tell us though, because
yeah, I was gonna say there's no way he got bored already. He's got like a different interview every single week. It seems like. I mean, he's nonstop interviewing. So I've been away for the past couple of days, you know, so I got a lot of catching up to do. But even just typing in this interview, the first thing that I seen was Easy Mill has an interview he just did, 2 weeks ago? And then I think there was another one on there from like a week or a week and a half ago. So he's nonstop working. I like that. I appreciate that from him.
So for me, I got introduced to it by friends and sometimes my cousin too. And like that was the first instance I remember, because I remember having heard of some Tupac and like Snoop Dogg sometime, and like early, and then more Snoop Dogg in high school, and then I remember elementary, my cousin told me about Chris Brown, you know, so kind of like
wow,
that range.
Chris Brown, okay.
Age, like,
yeah, I'm about to say. So how old are you exactly?
I'm 25.
25. Isn't it crazy? Like it's wild for me to even hear that like someone's initial hip hop origin story could involve Chris Brown is so crazy. But
right. See, that's what I was saying. Like, it's not like Chris Brown is a go-to name for anything that involves like hip hop and rap, you know? I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of songs where he's rapping on there, but usually when people think of Chris Brown, they're thinking about dancing, his dance moves, or singing. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of, it's different in a way, is what I meant to say. It's just different to hear him talk about it like that. Talk about Chris Brown in that sense. But that's just his truth. That's how he got, that's where his introduction was. So I get it.
At the same time, makes sense, especially because you know, even if you think about the Chris Brown.
I literally just said that. Yeah, I just said it makes sense. I get it. And then he said the same thing. That's hilarious.
Look at Me Now record.
Yeah.
Like that's I'm sure that one was a big one, right?
That's so true.
Like that's a monster rap record, even though. All right, let's play a couple of songs off your most recent project, which dropped in August. What's the name of that project?
Duality Redux.
Duality.
And that has your record with Eminem, Realist. We'll play that. Let's hit Podium too. The first joint out of the gate is dope. We're gonna play that as well. So Easy Mill is in the building. When we get back, we'll play some music. We'll hear the story of how the Eminem part of it all came to be, because it's a pretty unique circumstance. Yeah. Easy Mel is in the building, Relay Hot 97. I've also been told that you're trying to spit some hot flames tonight.
I'm gonna see.
All right, we're gonna see how that works out. Well, we got beats on deck. Easy Mel signed to Shady. The way it's written out, when you like Google your name, the first thing that pops up is you're one of 3 to ever be directly signed to Eminem. Is that correct?
One of 3?
Is it 3 or 2? People say
he didn't even know. He's like, what, a 3? You just hyped him up. Easy Mel probably feeling good as hell now. Like, oh yeah, hell yeah. I would be hyped too. Shit.
50, just 50, but then I saw somewhere it said stat quo, and I didn't know if.
But no, it's got to be more than 3, because M signed 50. He signed Easy Mel. He signed Boogie. What? That's his name, Westside Boogie, right? Is it Westside Boogie, or is it just Boogie? The one that was on Rainy Days with M. I know he signed him, and then he also signed. Did he sign Conway as well, or did they just have features? Andy signed Yellow Wolf, and I believe those were all directly signed. So he's a little off on this one, y'all.
Stat quo was, yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah, there you go. So it's
But yeah, see,
he
you
knows.
just
He's been with Shady
hyped
for a very
him
long
up.
time. So
I
yeah,
would
stat
be too.
quo and 50. So it's rarefied air. So I ran into Paul Rosenberg recently, not to be confused with myself. And
I know he was tripping about that. It's like you his cousin and something.
I know.
See,
Believe me.
it's cool to see that I'm not the only one. They look super familiar, yo. They definitely do.
So I ran into Paul Rosenberg recently, not to be confused with myself. And
I know we was tripping about that. It's like you his cousin and something.
I know. Believe me. I wish that would have made a lot of things easier for me. I would have definitely had an Eminem feature on my last album.
Hey,
But I saw Paul recently at the West Side Gun album event and told him I was going to see you. And
Griselda.
Shouts to Griselda.
Word.
And
Shout out Griselda.
I said I'm gonna see Easy Mill next week, and I said, what's the deal? You know, I said, is he through you or Marshall? He was like, nah, he came from Marshall. This is Marshall's thing. So hearing it from, the horse's mouth in Paul Rosenberg, I was like, oh wow, this is, because I had a hunch when I heard you rap. And saw you, I was like, this seems like something Marshall himself would have gravitated towards. So
exactly.
How did that?
That's crazy.
There he goes.
I don't know. It's just weird. You have like the same last name as his.
Yo, Easy's laugh is hilarious. And the fact that they have the same last name. That's kind of what did it too. That was definitely a big part of it.
Yeah,
I know. But by the way, we're only friends, I swear. There's no listen, I have to deal with the fact that everybody thinks I'm him, and he's Eminem's manager and has been rich for a very long time. He has to deal with the fact that I might say something crazy on the radio and people are like, yo, man, I heard you bugging. He's like, I don't have a radio show. He does have a radio station on Sirius, but he doesn't have a radio show.
I've heard that somewhere for some reason.
So how did it happen? How did you first interact with Eminem in any way?
The first interaction with him.
First interaction.
Man, that was we was at Dre's studio.
How did we get to Dre's studio though first? I guess we gotta go a step
call.
back then.
Hey,
I didn't know if
come on, man. If you're interviewing him, you should at least have some research. You haven't watched any of his other videos. You haven't watched his interview that's literally dedicated to how this came about. You got to go back and check that out, man. Come on. You got to at least know somewhat about the artist you're bringing on here. It can't be brand new. But, I mean, also in that way, it does make for better interviewing, I guess, I suppose. But it's still good to know a little bit about the artist. Especially Easy Mill, yo. Come on now.
in any way.
The first interaction with him.
First interaction.
Man, that was we was at Dre's studio.
How did we get to Dre's studio though first? I guess we got to go a step back then. I didn't know if it was going to be something else. Let's take it a step back. The first step on the road to you being in Dre's studio and having a situation with Eminem.
So you know what's crazy is it was just like a regular day. My girl just went to work, and I was working on some beats at home, and I was like, man, like this was like on some real drill type. Like it was just gonna be my by my lonely, like you feel me. So,
By my
and
lonely.
what happened
Remember, speaker,
was
rest in peace, speaker
my girl
knockers.
overlooked an email, you know, from Paul
Damn.
Rosenberg.
Wow.
Your cuz.
My cuz, exactly.
Fact.
Overlooked the email from your cousin.
It's funny to hear his girl say that, especially about something as big as M reaching out to you. It's a good thing they did not fully overlook it. It's a good thing they went back and checked, is what I meant
Like
to say.
when she got while she was at work, our people from Virgin kind of gave the nuts like, "Hey, yo, this is actually real shit."
So you had already had like an indie deal through. You had a distribution deal through Virgin or something like that already first.
Nah, like,
And so then
I really freaked out, bro. Like,
It's
it's like
fact.
you're kidding me. The dude I copy, like,
Right. Damn.
I respect your honesty.
You know, for him to say that, that's so dope because, like I always say in all of his interviews, if you've ever watched any of my reactions to his interviews, then you would know that I say the same exact. Well, I always said that's the one thing that I really like about Easy Mill is that he's so truthful and straightforward. But for him to be that open to be like, basically the dude that I copied, like that's fire to hear. And that just makes the story so much better knowing that he ended up getting signed by M and then M and them reaching out personally. That's fire, yo. You learn something new every day with these interviews.
I mean, it's Eminem for God's sake. So what? So was your first conversation with Paul or with Eminem or both?
With the with our team, it was like my girl, and then with Tracy and them, starting with them out, and then we went to LA to Dre studio.
And now we're in Dre's studio.
Yeah.
And now
And
he
you are
freaked
yet
the
to
fuck
meet
out.
Eminem.
Yeah, yet to meet Eminem.
He's seen
what
M
happened,
sitting there.
It's kind of like this, right? So let's say this is a lobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
And I guarantee he's going to tell the story about how Dre said something about the beat when he was like, yo, M's going to go crazy on this beat. I bet you he says
I
it.
come through there. First, it was just my mom and my girl walking through that, like, step right. And then Dre was sitting right there. I can't believe how I stood my ground to
You kept it cool though.
Yeah, I kept it cool.
You were like, yeah,
bro.
what's up, Dre?
No, I didn't say. Nah, I didn't
But
say.
he said, no.
Back to when I was in the Air Force, bro. Like, yes,
Sir.
yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Hey, there you go. Big shout out to that. If you haven't seen my Easy Mill Lackland reaction I did, so it's an older reaction. It actually is like my third, or no, I'd say about like my fifth or sixth biggest video. It like took off at first, and I was a super small channel at that time, so it was dope. But I'm also in the military. I'm in the Army, and if you're not familiar with Easy Mill's Lackland song, go check out my reaction. But it's a song about his basic training for him, which yes, he joined the Air Force, I joined the Army, but the basic training's all the same, pretty much. I mean, yeah, there's different things here and there, but for the most part, the training is down to the T. So it was just dope to be able to talk about my experience, relate to that with what he is going, or what happened with his story and how that went, and then now to see him like this.
It's like standing at attention sometimes.
As you should.
For anyone that does not know what attention means, or what standing at attention is, where you stand there. Matter of fact, I'll show you. I know this very well because I've had to do it for so many times, yo. This is... So that's standing at attention. You basically just got to stand there with your arms like that. And trust me, you do that a lot in the military. I had to do that one time for like about 2 hours straight. And you know me, I got ADHD and I move around a lot. Oh my gosh. That was probably the number one thing the worst thing about me, especially in basic training, was the standing at attention and all the the attention to detail. That's a big word in the military. Attention to detail.
That's the doctor.
Yeah, bro. And then
Okay,
also
so
after that, like we walked a little bit like this, and then from the door, like the door was open, like inside the studio, right? And then M was right there, like sitting on the couch, like at the edge of the.
I told ya.
Picture right on my IG, and I saw a glimpse of him. Round two, pink, like damn, bro. And I was still standing. And then we were just kind of getting preceded by their people to go into the studio, right? And then when I walked in, he was like Ezekiel, you know, like what I've been saying. And then he was like, man.
So it was clear that he knew.
For the last 20 years. Where have you been for the last 20 years? And I was like, I just wanted to ask him this question this whole time. Why haven't you been to the Philippines? Like,
I mean,
straight like, bro, I looked at him, then looked like this, and looked back because I wanted to just re-snap myself, snap back to reality. Fuck.
Oh, there goes Rabbit.
Man. He was like,
and then how long was it between then and signing the deal with him?
2 months.
All right.
Yeah.
Of conversations and getting to know each other.
Yes. Yeah.
And now he's like, now like, can you sit here and say like Eminem is a friend?
Hey, Eminem's the OG.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
That Eminem's the OG for real.
I mean, he's always going to look at Eminem. I don't want to say idol him, but look at him in a higher aspect, in a way, just because he always looked up to him, you know? And like, you see the genuinity with it when it comes to Easy Mill. So he's definitely always going to have that respect for him. But I do feel as time goes on, I feel like it will become a more of a friendship type manner. You know, I don't think it would stay like that the entire time. But I also do think he will be one artist that is going to definitely stay genuine to, or like his feelings about how much he helped them and how he looks up to him. I feel like that's always going to be there. It just may dimmer after time goes on. But yeah.
Right now it's just building the Easy Mill brand, getting people in America to know who you are. How poppin' is it in the Philippines for you right now?
Oh man, bro, like I can't walk regularly out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long has it been like that?
Ever since Panalo.
Which is how long ago now?
2 years.
2 months? Oh, 2 years.
So it's been on and popping in the Philippines for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And how often are you there versus here?
I'm here most of the time now because, well, it's just been only recently where, like, you know, my situation, like, you know, I grew up in the Philippines and then I just came to work here and it's just crazy.
Well, listen, you said you wanted to show these people what time it was and drop some bars to the city, no?
Hell yeah.
All right, so we're going to do that next. Easy Mill is in the building. It's real late on Hot 97.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, he finished that quick. All right, y'all. This is a super long video. That interview was dope. If you haven't checked out my reaction to his freestyle that they're about to do, it's on my channel. Go check it out, y'all. And with that being said, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. EV out.